something your family did every year, but you now realize was to cover something up? My family had home hibernation week every February. Started when I was like 6. We'd board up the windows with black trash bags, turn off all electronics, live by candlelight, and play board games for exactly 7 days. No school, no work, no phones, absolutely no going outside or looking out windows. Not even to check mail. Mom, Eleanor, would stock up on canned foods and weird survival stuff the weeks before. Dad, Matthew, would check all the doors like 50 times a day. I thought it was fun as a little kid, like camping inside. My older sister Allison thought it was weird but went along with it. The rules were super strict. We couldn't even peek outside. If you tried, Dad would freak out. Not like angry yelling, but panicky scared. One time when I was 9, I pulled back a corner of the trash bag to see if it was snowing, and he literally tackled me away from the window. We had to be completely silent at night, whispers only. We all slept in the living room. Dad always sat in a chair facing the front door with this metal baseball bat. I asked Mom once why we did hibernation week. She said it was a special family tradition that her parents did too. But Allison said that was best because she remembered before we started doing it. Mom got real quiet after that. We did normal stuff during the day. Board games, cards, reading books. Mom homeschooled us that week with these weird workbooks she'd prepare. But they weren't like normal school stuff. It was all survival skills disguised as math problems. Like, if person A is walking 3 mep and person B is walking 5 mep in the opposite direction, how long until they're 16 miles apart? But with weird details about hiding and running. The weirdest part was that Dad would make us practice this game, where if he yelled red alert, we had to grab these pre-packed backpacks and crawl through this little door in the back of the hallway closet that led to a space between the walls. We'd have to stay completely silent in there sometimes for hours while Dad did something. IDK what? When we came out, everything would be exactly the same. Allison stopped participating when she turned 16, just flat out refused. Massive fight. I'd never seen Mom cry like that before. They let her stay at a friend's house that year. But the next year she was back for hibernation week. She never said why. She just seemed different after. When I turned 14, I started asking more questions. Why February? Why 7 days? Why were we hiding? Mom always said we weren't hiding. We were preparing. Dad would just get this distant look and change the subject. I Googled our family when I was 15. Nothing that explained why we became paranoid survivalists for one specific week every year. When I was 17, hibernation week came and I noticed Mom and Dad watching the calendar obsessively, counting down days. They started hibernation preparations 2 weeks early that year, seemed extra stressed. 3 days before hibernation was supposed to start, there was a knock at the door. Mom literally collapsed. Dad went pale. They shoved me and Allison into the wall space without any explanation. I could hear muffled voices. A man, not Dad. Deep voice. Calm but something off about it. Asking questions. Where is she? Need to see her. Legal right. Then Dad's voice, higher than normal. Denying. Confusion. Don't know what you're talking about. Allison was hyperventilating next to me. Whispered, it's him. I had no idea who him was. We stayed in that wall space for 2 hours. When Dad finally let us out, the house was perfectly normal. Like nothing happened. But Mom was gone. Dad said Mom had to go away for a bit and hibernation week was canceled. He seemed relieved somehow, like a weight was gone. Mom came back 3 weeks later. No explanation. But that was the last hibernation week we ever had. Years passed. I went to college. Barely thought about the weird tradition. Figured it was just my parents being paranoid about something. Last month my mom called me sobbing. Dad had died. At the funeral I noticed this man staring at Mom from across the cemetery. After everyone left I confronted her. Told her I deserved to know what hibernation week was really about. Why we lived in fear for 7 days every year. Why Allison was still jumpy and on anxiety meds. She told me everything. Mom had been married before Dad. To a man named Cooper. Violent. Controlling. When she tried to leave him while pregnant with Allison, he swore he'd kill her. Went to prison for assaulting her. Got out when Allison was 2, fought for custody. The court gave him supervised visitation 1 week per year. First week of February. Mom ran. Changed her name. Met Dad. Had me. They thought they were safe until Cooper's brother spotted Mom at a store when I was 6. They didn't run again because they knew he'd follow. Instead, they hid in plain sight. 1 week a year when Cooper would come looking, exercising his legal right to see his daughter. The man at the door that last hibernation week was Cooper. Dad convinced him he had the wrong house. Cooper didn't believe him but couldn't